Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Now, if you're an Australian business owner or a C-level executive, this conversation is really for you. We're here to cut through the noise and give you what you need right now. I'm Lex.
And I'm Vera. And together we are the C9 Podcast Show. Our mission today is a deep dive into multi-agent AI orchestration. We'll probably just call it MAAIO to keep it simple.
MAAIO, right. And we've dug into the sources to see exactly how Australian businesses have to adapt.
And adapt now. It's not just about, survival anymore. It's about getting that crucial leap ahead of the competition.
Okay, so let's just get straight into it. Vera, paint the picture for us.
Mm-hmm.
What's this uncomfortable truth we need to face?
Look, it's pretty stark. The thing is, your key competitors, and we're talking about 3 of them right now, they are already implementing these autonomous systems.
Already doing it. And what does that give them?
It gives them a 12 to 24-month operational head start.
A whole year or two.
A whole year or two. And these aren't just, faster tools. These systems operate 24/7. And critically, they never make the same mistake twice because they're constantly learning.
So it's not just about efficiency, it's about something else.
It's exponential scaling. It's a different league entirely.
That is a serious threat, especially when you think about the unique pressures on Australian businesses, high costs, labor shortages.
It's a perfect storm, really. We're looking at over 87,000 unfilled tech roles. And then you have the high average employee costs. You factor in super and benefits, and it's well over $120,000 a year.
And global competitors who just don't have those same cost structures.
Exactly. So in that climate, MAIO isn't some, nice-to-have luxury. It's becoming critical infrastructure just to stay in the game.
So let's define it. Let's make it really clear. In plain English, what is multi-agent AI orchestration?
Okay, a good analogy is to think of your business as a symphony orchestra.
An orchestra, okay.
The old way, traditional automation, that was like giving you one person playing a flute. Doing one little repetitive task over and over.
Right. Very limited. Brittle.
Very. MAIO is the whole orchestra. Every single AI agent is a specialist, a virtuoso.
But you've got one specialist agent handling, say, complex compliance checks.
Right. And another managing inventory in real time. A third is processing claims. And a fourth is handling all your customer inquiries. 247.
And the MAIO part is the conductor.
Exactly. The conductor. It coordinates that whole team of specialists, making sure they all work together seamlessly across every department without a human needing to step in all the time.
It's specialization at scale.
Precisely.
Now, a lot of us have been burned before. I mean, Australian companies poured money into robotic process automation, RPA.
They did.
And it was expensive, it was brittle. The second you changed a field on a form, the whole thing would just break. So why is this any different?
That's the critical distinction. RPA was, it was designed for a single linear task. It was just rules-based. It needed constant babysitting. Right.
MAIO is built on a totally different foundation. It uses large language models, decision intelligence.
So it's not just following a script.
No, it's handling complex workflows. It makes intelligent decisions inside the boundaries you set for it. And most importantly, it gets better over time. It self-optimizes.
It's adaptive.
It's adaptive, not brittle.
So if it's that much better, why isn't every single company using it right now? What's making 2026 this absolute tipping point?
It's 4 big forces all converging at once. It's creating a kind of economic inevitability.
Okay, what's the first one?
First is just technology maturity. The LLMs that were experimental a couple of years ago, they're now production-ready infrastructure.
And the cost.
That's the key.
Yeah.
Cloud costs have dropped 40% in 3 years. So what was just too expensive for most is now completely accessible.
Okay, that makes sense. What's number 2?
Regulatory complexity. All the new mandates, Privacy Act changes, ASIC audit trails, ESG reporting.
A compliance nightmare. It can be. But MAIO systems are built for this. They generate perfect automated audit trails as a core function, not an afterthought.
Right, and then you have market pressure. Customers want everything yesterday.
And that's where the biggest accelerator comes in. The ROI crossover point.
The numbers.
The numbers. Implementation costs are down 60% since 2022. Maintenance is 70% lower.
That's huge. So what does that do to the payback period? That's what our listeners want to know.
It crushes it. The payback period for an MAIO project now averages just 12 to 18 months.
Down from what, 3 years?
Down from 36 months or more. The whole financial picture has flipped. It's gone from a long-term strategic bet to a short-term financial imperative.
And that means if you move in 2026, You're in that sweet spot.
You're in the early majority. You get ahead of the 2027, 2028 bottleneck, which is coming. That's when demand for quality developers is going to completely outstrip supply.
Okay, the numbers are compelling on paper, but executives, they want to see proof. Does this actually work here in Australia with their specific problems?
Absolutely. The sources gave us 3 really strong, anonymous Australian case studies that show this in action.
Let's hear them. Case study 1, a financial services company.
Right. Their big challenge was just a staggering 14-day customer onboarding process.
14 days.
47 manual steps. It was a nightmare.
So what did the MAAIO solution do?
It deployed specialist agents for, document verification, complex compliance screening, and all the integrations with their core systems.
And the result?
The result was an 82% cut in onboarding time, from 14 days down to 2.5.
Wow.
And processing cost dropped 75%.
So what's the dollar figure on that?
That's $1.8 million in annual savings with an 11-month payback.
An 11-month payback.
Right.
But hang on, cutting a 14-day process by that much, that sounds like massive disruption. What about the internal cost, the staff impact?
That's actually the really interesting part, and it leads straight into the second case study, a healthcare provider in regional New South Wales.
So that's a problem.
A huge claims backlog. Staff were just drowning in admin.
So the system automated the claims.
Right. The direct result was that claims were processed 75% faster. But the real win was the human one.
Okay.
They saved 320 staff hours every single month. 4 full-time employees were taken off tedious admin and redeployed straight into patient care.
So you turn a cost center into a direct improvement in your service quality.
Instantly. It's not about replacing people, it's about elevating them to do higher value work.
I love that. Okay, what about case study 3?
Manufacturing and distribution. Their problem was chronic delays in procurement and fulfillment.
A classic supply chain headache.
A huge one. They cut their fulfillment time from over 4 days down to 1.8 days. Inventory carrying costs dropped 28%.
So big savings.
Big savings, yes. $3.2 million. But it wasn't just savings. They also generated an extra $1.1 million in new revenue.
Oh.
From faster delivery and fewer stockouts, they could just sell more often.
So the direct savings are one thing, but the indirect value, the new revenue, the better customer experience, that's just as big.
It's a huge part of the ROI. And it helps you attract and retain talent because you're giving them more meaningful work to do.
The ROI is, frankly, staggering.
Mm-hmm.
But that kind of upside almost always comes with a big risk. We know enterprise software projects fail all the time.
Mm-hmm.
What's the #1 catastrophic mistake an executive can make here?
Oh, it's simple. It's skipping proper discovery and just going for a quick quote.
The cheap quote.
The cheap quote. We see this play out every week. You get a few indicative prices, you pick the lowest one, say $180K, that was based on a 1-hour chat.
And then what happens?
6 months down the line, you're 85% over budget, you've spent over $330,000, and the whole project is a failure and gets scrapped.
Why are those quick quotes so toxic?
Because the developers are just guessing. They have to make huge assumptions about your business processes.
Could you give us an example?
Sure. A company wanted simple automation for their invoice processing. The initial guess, the quick quote, was about $85,000.
Seems reasonable.
It did. But then, after proper discovery, they found all this hidden complexity. 14 different invoice formats, complex 3-way matching rules, a 20-year-old legacy system it had to talk to.
So what was the real cost?
The true scope was $340,000. That's a 400% variance.
400%.
If they'd gone with that first quote, they would have burned through the budget, gotten absolutely nowhere, and probably sworn off AI forever.
And on top of that risk, there's this new problem you call the AI Cowboy.
Yeah, the AI Cowboy. These are the developers who use what some people call vibes coding.
Vibe coding.
It's where you get an AI tool to generate a block of code, you copy-paste it without really understanding it, and because it kind of works on your laptop,
You ship it to production.
you ship it, and it's a disaster waiting to happen.
We saw an example of this, didn't we? A retailer.
A devastating one. A $75,000 project. It failed immediately in production. It caused a $47,000 loss in sales. And then it cost another $185,000 to get it rebuilt properly. So the total cost was over 3 times the original quote.
And this really gets to what you call the 4 deadly sins of this kind of coding.
Exactly. Sin number 1 is no architectural foundation. It works for a demo, but the second you try to scale it, it just collapses.
Sin 2.
Security through ignorance. This is a big one.
Yeah.
They leave API keys exposed. They miss major vulnerabilities. They basically guarantee a Privacy Act violation.
And the average cost of a data breach in Australia is not small.
It's $3.35 million. This isn't a trivial risk.
Okay, what's sin 3?
The technical debt time bomb. The system runs today, but in a year, when you want to add one new feature, the cost is 3 times what it should be. It becomes impossible to maintain.
And the final sin.
No knowledge transfer. They build something only they can understand, which creates complete vendor lock-in. You're trapped.
Okay, so that's the nightmare scenario. How does a smart executive do this the right way and avoid all of that?
It all starts with one thing: professional, proper discovery. It's not optional.
It's your project insurance.
It's 100% your project insurance. A proper discovery takes, 2 to 4 weeks. It's an investment of somewhere between $15,000 and $35,000.
I can hear a CFO listening right now saying, wait, I have to spend up to 35 grand just to get a quote.
Yes, and here's why. Because that discovery prevents a catastrophic loss. When you add up what you avoid, the budget overruns, the delays, the cost of a failed project, you prevent an expected loss of almost $300,000.
So you spend $25K to save nearly $300.
That's an 11.7x return on investment before you've even written a line of code. It's purely from mitigating risk.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And once you have that solid roadmap, the next step is how you implement. Smart CFOs, they're choosing a phased approach.
Absolutely. They're avoiding the big bang project. That's where you sign up, a $450,000 contract, wait a year, and only start seeing ROI in month 13. It's just too risky.
So what does the smarter staged approach look like?
Well, the C9 phase strategy starts with what we call a quick win. That's phase 1.
So not trying to boil the ocean on day one.
No. It's an 8 to 12 week deployment. Smaller investment, maybe $120K to $180, and you target the single biggest pain point that will give you the fastest ROI, like that invoice processing example.
You get runs on the board early, you prove it works.
You prove it works, you get immediate cash flow, and that first phase pays for itself within 18 to 24 months.
And then, crucially, the next phases are funded by the savings from the first one.
That's the key. Phase 2 and Phase 3, the expansion and scaling, they're paid for by the money Phase 1 generated. You prove the value, you generate the cash, and then you reinvest. You manage the risk every step of the way.
And by the time you get to Phase 3, you're seeing a huge cumulative return.
You're looking at over $500,000 in annual ROI.
And for anyone listening who is wondering, are we even ready for this? There's a way to find out, right? A readiness assessment.
There is. You can get a score. If you're scoring between 60 and 75, you're in an excellent position to start. If you're below 45, that's okay. It just means that discovery process is even more critical to build you that foundational roadmap. So the summary for any Australian business owner listening is pretty simple. The future of your operations, it's autonomous, it's intelligent, and it's scalable. And the cost of just waiting and seeing is compounding every single month your competitors are pulling ahead.
But rushing in with a cheap quote is just a recipe for failure. The winning path is to start with proper discovery, build in phases so you get that early, proven ROI, and, really importantly, choose a partner who wants to transfer knowledge to you, not create dependency.
And that really raises a key question for you, the listener. What's your mindset here? Is it an expense mentality?
Where you're just trying to minimize the upfront cost, you pick the cheapest option, and then you regret the savings later.
Or do you have an investment mentality where your goal is to maximize the return, prove the value at every step, and compound those wins for years to come?
Because multi-agent orchestration, when it's done right, isn't an expense. It is a massive revenue-generating investment. So if you're ready to transform your operations and use this winning strategy, it's time to talk to the experts.
We are Lex and Vera from the C9 Podcast Show. C9 is Australia's leading custom software, apps, integration, and database developer company. We specialize in enterprise process automation and multi-agent AI orchestration.
We offer a complimentary, no-pressure discovery call just to see if this is the right fit for your challenges. Just visit www.c9.com.au. That's C, the number 9.com.oa to learn more and book your call.
And please don't forget to click that follow button and share this deep dive with any other Australian business owners or executives you think could benefit from this. We'll see you next time.